It's time for the Ryan Report on Atlanta's big station, V103.
It is your Ryan Report, where you, of course, can see it on v-103.com. The world of music and entertainment is mourning the loss of one of its pioneers. We all know this. This morning, Don Cornelius found dead in his Los Angeles home on Mulholland Drive after police responded to a shooting call. A gunshot wound to the head. They're believing that it was self-inflicted, but the investigation is still ongoing.
Now, you had mentioned, because we were talking about, you'd mentioned that he was he ill, or was he fighting some? Because in 2010 he discussed doing a movie about Soul Train.
Right.
They were going to do like a big biographical piece on the dancing and everything. So you would think things were kind of doing all right.
Well, he went through a very bitter divorce in 2009.
Oh,
and
okay.
One of the things that he was telling the judge in the divorce case was, I want to get this done before I die. Now, people are kind of reading into that, and then, of course, there was the award show where they actually had Don Cornelius talking about the OJs.
Right.
And it goes down in history as one of the longest intros ever. And once that happened, people started saying, hey, man, what's going on with Don? What's really going on? And then he kind of disappeared. But, of course, there was always that signature intro from the Soul Train and the voice that we all knew and loved.
The principal inspiration for Soul Train was American Bandstand and Dick Clark. I wanted to do a black American Bandstand.
And basically that's what happened because, it helped shine light on black artists who didn't get a chance to go on American Bandstand. Everybody from James Brown. I just remember being a kid and waiting on Soul Train to see who was going to be on there. It was like when it came on in Atlanta on Saturday afternoons or whatever, they would promote it and then you say, oh, such and such is going to be on. And then the whole thing about everybody lip syncing.
We used to go from Saturday morning to cartoons right to Soul Train.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And still with the father-daughter dance, it is the signature part of the dance is the Soul Train line. I mean, every wedding, every family reunion, it just shows what the man did as a pioneer. The Soul Train line is universal and crosses all cultures and races. So, I mean, it's very sad, man.
It is extremely sad. And think about some of the shows we watch, like So You Think You Could Dance and America's Best Dance Crew.
Right.
All of that you could take right back to Soul Train. All the dancers, all the performances, all of that was what you have right now with these shows. No, he was a pioneer.
Yeah. And we have, different clips that we'll be playing throughout the day today. And it's very sad that Don Cornelius passed away at the age of 75. Also, in other entertainment news, GQ, they will announce who is the best dressed man. They are now announcing the worst dressed man. Chris Brown.
Really?
Chris Brown, the British version of GQ, has crowned him the worst dressed man, not in the United States, on the planet. On the planet.
Okay.
We got to check his Twitter, because I'm sure by now he has gone off and said something crazy. Apparently, they never saw Lil Wayne in those woman's jeggings that he wore that time. But Chris Brown is the worst dressed man on the planet. That's pretty serious. Halle Berry, everybody knows she looks good from the ankles up. Don't know what those feet look like, but now you can walk in the same shoes as Halle, as she has launched a shoe line in Europe. You want to know what the name of it is?
Halle.
No.
Footy.
No.
What?
Fifth Avenue by Halle Berry.
Of course.
Going to launch across Europe on March 5th and have 40 summer styles. She is very involved and created an affordable collection. Are you ready for this? How much does the Halle Berry collection start out at?
You said affordable. I'm going to say starts at $200.
$29.99.
$29.99 as in $29?
In euros.
Oh.
$29.99. She said the shoes can be easily worn by every woman. They're stylish, yet reasonably priced. That is what my collection is all about. So
that's not bad.
Congratulations. And she already has everything else. She's got a fragrance and all that stuff.
Good for her.
As soon as Blue Ivy Carter was born, somebody said, ooh, I'm going to get paid. I'm going to get paid. So they went out and trademarked the name. a guy by the name of Joseph was a clothing designer who trademarked the name. He was trying to, of course, use it for a brand new children's clothing line. He applied for the application on January 11th, just 4 days after the baby was born. You know, Jay-Z should be smarter than that. You should have known somebody's going to try to do that. He said he never intended on exploiting the name, right, but got the whole idea for a business proposal that he was going to propose to Jay-Z and Beyonce. Then the media got, wind of it, and he said he discovered the name had not been registered and went ahead and did what he needed to do. He says a huge mix-up, and the media jumped the gun. He still hopes to have a business meeting with the Carters for the line. Is also releasing his rights to the trademark. And here it is, which looks very similar to the Kellogg's Frosted Flake. Look at that. That kind of looks like the Kellogg. You can log on to v-103.com and see the Blue Ivy Carter NYC logo for yourself, which kind of looks like Frosted Flakes. All right. That is your Ryan Report. Coming up at 5 o'clock, man, I got an announcement that's going to change your life. It's V103.
And if you don't know, now you know, you know.